everybody. Welcome to Back Issues. I am Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
And happy holidays / Merry Christmas / belated Hanukkah. Hanukkah's over.
Get ready for a happy Kwanzaa?
I don't even know when that
Is
is.
after?
I thought it was after. I thought it was like the 27th.
Sure.
There we go.
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments below.
When is Kwanzaa?
I probably should have looked this up 2 seconds before we shot this video.
Maybe. But anyway, here on Back Issues, Christmas time has come once again. Or rather, for the first time. This is our first Christmas episode. We haven't been quite a year, but we're getting there.
Yes, we are.
So I thought to celebrate the occasion, I got some Santa hats you guys could wear.
Oh boy.
Which one do you want?
Oh, I want Santa's hat.
All right, you can. I ran out of Santa hats, so I just picked a red hat that I own, that I wear when it's cold.
I think that works.
See?
I think so.
I like the black one.
Yeah, it's really. I like it a lot.
I was gonna say, if we got some like white fur around this one, it could be Christmas
like,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, there are a lot of like holiday themed comics out there, and most of them are kind of garbage. So I went through my personal collection. I tried to find something that was in any way connected, and I thought, well, we did Long Halloween, which had a big Christmas element in it, so that's done. By the way, you probably have also by now seen the Little House Christmas Spectacular episode 4, the Last Time Follower link here. You can check that out.
Yay!
Watch it again, because I'm sure it hasn't gotten nearly as many views as a single episode of Back Issues.
Yeah, probably.
Or off the rack.
Or off the rack. But we're looking forward to maybe seeing a special guest from that special drop by and make a surprise appearance. We'll see.
Oh,
you know,
man.
it's a Christmas special of sorts, so, you know, who knows what kind of zany characters could pop up at any moment.
Maybe a big guy in a red suit.
Probably not, though.
No?
No, he's not. No, he wasn't available.
Oh, well, maybe it'll be Tiffany. And
No, she's busy, too. I guess I should have gotten her, too. The book we're doing is Wolverine Origin.
Yay!
Because there's snow in it. And there's a lot of guys with beards.
Does it happen at Christmas time?
Nope.
Oh.
It happens in Canada. So there's
Well,
a
this
lot of
has
snow.
Wolverine's bone claws, and they're white.
It does have bone claws.
It's gonna be a white Christmas.
And then it'll be red.
I don't know why he would say that.
He would never say that. Actually, that's not true. If Claremont were writing it, it might say that. So,
Is this the definitive origin?
yep, this is the definitive origin. The idea was they were making an X-Men movie at the time. I think we talked about this in brief for an episode of Tangents or something. They were making the X-Men movie, and they were like playing with the idea of doing the origin. As you know from watching the X-Men movies, you know, they show flashes of Wolverine getting his adamantium claws and stuff, which all has actually been well-trod ground for Marvel and for Wolverine. We've seen Wolverine become a member of Weapon X. We've seen him get the surgery that gives him the adamantium skeleton.
Yeah, we played the video game of
X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's a great game, by the way. I really like that game. The movie is garbage, but the video game somehow, which follows the same plot, is way better.
Plot.
It's because you get to like take people and throw them on spikes.
It's R-rated, that's why.
Yeah.
Also, it adds like an extra 2 hours of movie that like should have been the movie, but wasn't.
Yep.
So much
Check
better.
it out.
Check it out. It's probably really cheap.
game,
for this 15-year-old story. The story goes that the guys in the movie were going to tell Wolverine's origin, or rather, Marvel was still fishing themselves out of bankruptcy at the time, so they were desperate to license out all their characters. And so, when they did that, you know, Fox gobbled them up. They were still thinking about, like, what they were going to do with it, and, you know, once Fox picked it up, like, that's it. You know, there's nothing really, like, you can say about it, about what they're going to do. They can make Wolverine anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, really...
They're making the movie Wolverine.
Exactly.
It's totally different.
Yeah, and they paid good money to get him.
Yeah.
So, at Marvel Editorial, they were like, we can't tell Wolverine's origin. That's, like, the biggest, best-kept secret in the Marvel Universe. That's, like, that's way up there with, like, you know, anything else that is a coveted secret in Marvel.
I don't understand, though. You know about the Weapon X, you know about the adamantium.
Yeah, but you don't know, like, what his real name is.
It's Logan.
Oh.
We know it's Logan, yes, but, like
the stuff before Weapon
everything
X.
before Weapon X,
Okay.
yeah, and because we don't know, like, how old he is. We know he's
old.
We know he's fought in wars, and, like, but those could have been memory implants. Like, we have no real true origin of Wolverine.
We know he's Canadian.
We do know he's Canadian. Or at least that he lived in Canada and worked for Alpha Flight.
Well, but we know as much of Wolverine's origin as Wolverine knows.
Yeah.
And isn't that all that matters? Since
That
he
should
is now
be.
Wolverine, he originated at the moment when his mind was, like, you know, blocked.
You would think that. but here we are.
Are you saying there's something of him that survives from this past?
Everything that is Wolverine is in this book.
Okay, but how if he can't remember it?
Well, because
does he remember
he doesn't remember it. He remembers it now, but he didn't remember it up until House of M.
Okay.
Oh.
The story is written by Paul Jenkins, who had written a number of books at the time. He's written a bunch of Inhumans books, and he's written Spider-Man, and he wrote this book, which was really great. And, he's a celebrated author, especially for Marvel. And it's drawn by Andy Kubert, which means it's going to look great. Because Andy Kubert also drew Marvel 1602 before this, by Neil Gaiman. And it's so great, and it looks terrific, and they were like, we got to give this, like, the Criterion Collection look. This has to, like, not only be competently drawn, but it also has to be written really well, and it has to, like, we can't half-ass this shit. If we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna tell Wolverine's origin, we gotta do it right. It starts blowing things left and right. You're like, oh! Like, you open the page. First of all, the front cover. You see this kid, this Huck Finn looking...
kind of farmer.
Yeah. And you got, like, a chick and a little boy.
Yeah.
Naturally, you look at this, that's the first image you see, you think that's Logan. You think that's Wolverine.
Right.
Like,
that's not Wolverine?
This rough and tumble boy.
Now, the kid is going to be Wolverine, right?
The little boy.
The little boy.
Yeah, the Nancy boy.
Is he going to kill his dad?
Wolverine was a Nancy boy? That's hilarious.
So, we open our story in Canada, as so many stories begin. And the Howlett estate is being built.
Oh.
In, I think, the 1800s. I think it's like 1880.
Wait, his name is Howlett? The
Yes.
word howl is in his name?
Yes. So, the Howlett estate is erected, and shortly thereafter, a young, beautiful, red-headed girl named Rose is going to go live with the Howletts. And the
I've
Howletts...
heard of Rose.
Yeah.
She was in...
Yeah, she came up in the Death of Wolverine prelude.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Also, how original that a redhead is named Rose.
I know.
I guess she was an orphan.
Kind of. And she's also Irish, and, all that. So anyway, they're dropping her off at the Howlett estate, and there's kind of like an air of mystery about the Howlett estate, about the Howletts in general, because the eldest Howlett boy had died he'd fallen ill and then died under mysterious circumstances and was buried on the family plot, which had just begun with the eldest boy. But the youngest boy, James, still remained. And so now we know Wolverine's real name is James Howlett.
Huh.
Okay.
Not Logan.
James Howlett.
Good old
James
Jim.
Howlett.
Good old Jim Howlett.
Yep.
So he
Little Jimmy.
Yeah.
he acquired the Logan name.
Yeah. Yeah. The characters that we meet in the beginning are James Howlett, Rose, and a farmer's son named Dog.
Dog?
I don't remember what his real name is. I don't even know if we even get it. But he's affectionately referred to as Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And Dog is the son of Logan, who is like a groundskeeper for the Howletts. And he also is banging Mrs. Howlett.
Oh.
And has been banging her probably since they moved in.
Because James's father is also probably a Nancy boy.
He is... I wouldn't call him a Nancy boy. James Howlett is, under no certain terms, a Nancy boy. But his father is just a generous, nice man. He tries to treat Logan and his family well. They have their own little house on the very bottom down nearer to town.
Well, then how come Logan kills him?
How come Logan kills him? Logan does not.
I'm sorry, not Logan, James. How come James kills him?
How come
He's
James-
a nice, generous father.
How come James kills his own father?
Well, I mean, that's what Ethan speculated.
Oh, well, we'll see what happens. James, Rose, and Dog all become friends.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're kids, they don't see class
they don't
or
know,
race, and they just play.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's a moment when Rose is walking around the grounds when she sees Mrs. Howlett getting undressed with the maid, and Mrs. Howlett has these 3 huge, like, claw marks on her back. And Rose is scared, and you don't really know why, and they never quite tell you why. Dog, naturally, starts to take a shine to Rose, but not in, like, a romantic kind of way, and just kind of like a, well, you're pretty and I want you kind of way. And likewise, James is falling in love with her,
Okay.
as you can imagine.
But James is actually in love with her.
James is actually in love with her, and Dog is just kind of like, oh, you're pretty, meh. Like, let's, he's trying
You're
to, like,
pretty, and I'm feeling things and below the belt.
exactly, and I'm going to force myself on you. So, I'm sorry. Oh. So, James runs and tells his dad. His dad tells Logan, the groundskeeper, like, keep your family in order.
Okay.
Which, of course, Logan doesn't take too kindly to, because
Right.
he's like, well, if you had your family in order, I wouldn't be banging your wife so often. He doesn't
Right.
say that, but
Right.
But that's the implication.
it's the subtext. Then, of course, Logan gets drunk, and then he whips the shit out of Dog, as you kind of assume happens all the time.
Right.
Dog kills little James's favorite dog, his little puppy thing. It's sad. I think that's actually when...
Wait, does Logan in that story with the belt look like he
looks just like
Logan?
Wolverine.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm looking, I'm seeing mutton chops and
Yeah,
shit.
That's
It's
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Yeah.
Logan, the groundskeeper, is truly James's real father.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I was wondering why I suddenly saw Wolverine in this book.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And in fact, all of this poor man's kids are Logan's children. Like, the eldest son was also Logan's kid. He's Logan's kid. Dog is Logan's kid. Like, everybody is... like, Logan is inseminating everybody up in here.
Man, that sucks for Mr. Howlett.
Yeah. So, when Dog kills James's puppy, Mr. Howlett has had enough. And he's like, you're all fired, get out. Like, I can't abide
Right.
people like you.
Right.
And I forgot to mention that there's this, like, other character in the story, Mr. Howlett's father. And he's the real rich one. He's the guy who has all the money.
Like
Okay.
Grandpa Howlett.
Grandpa Howlett. He lives there, and he's always chastising Mr. Howlett for being soft and easygoing. And he's like, if you had actually been a leader and a
Right.
man of the house,
Maybe
like
the groundskeeper wouldn't be banging your wife.
well, I don't think he says that quite specifically, but he does say like maybe your groundskeeper wouldn't be like walking around here like
Right.
he owns the place.
Right.
And then Mr. Howlett's like, hey, Grandpa Howlett, why don't you go on a 3-hour tour?
That's Howl.
That's close enough.
So Logan gets good and drunk, and he and a few like-minded individuals decide, hey, let's go take Mr. Howlett's house. So he storms the house.
What?
He's like, you know what, I've had enough. If I'm fired, I'm going to go there, I'm going to take my woman, and I'm going to
Okay.
leave. So
It's actually not that surprising.
Yeah. So he shows up, and, calamity ensues, and I think James actually winds up happening upon them just when Logan kills his father, or his father.
Right.
His surrogate dad, his actual dad. Like his
His
the man who
married-
raised him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And James is so upset and enraged that he runs at Logan and he punches him in the stomach. And when he pulls back his hand, he reveals the bone claws.
So he kills his father,
Kills his actual father.
but not the father we thought he was going to
That's
kill.
right. So he does, in fact, kill his father.
Yeah. So he kills this dude.
That's
Dog.
That's
That's
dude's
dog.
father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He kills his brother's father, which is also his father.
Yeah, he
So
kills
it's
his
a
own
weird way
father.
to say that.
Yeah.
And then his mother kills herself.
What? Why?
Because both the men in her life are dead, and they killed each other, and it was all because, in her own mind, like, because of her. Because she, like, because of her lies and her deceit. And
That is fair, but at the same time, she still has like 2 boys that she needs to.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
But one of them has.
she takes that rifle, she blows her own head off.
Wow!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Well,
really?
One of
Yeah.
her kids also has bone
Fuck.
claws.
That's
It's
the
a
other thing
lot
is
all
that
at once.
that's the other thing is that like and right before she kills herself.
Well, those are the scars that she had on her back. I'm assuming.
Well, she had scars on her back, probably from Logan, when they're having some rough sex.
But why
Wait,
would
Logan had bone claws?
Well, here's the thing: when James reveals his bone claws,
Yeah.
his mother, through a gasped hand, says, "Not again, not you too," as if to imply that their eldest son was also like Wolverine. Was also like a Wolverine type character.
Well,
he
that's
also
what I
had bone
imagined.
claws.
I imagined that the kids had bone claws, but I didn't think Logan had them.
Well, we never really find out because Logan fucking dies.
Okay. Oh, what the fuck? What if they killed their oldest son because he had bone claws?
They might have.
Maybe.
Maybe they did.
Well, guess what? There's another story that we will do shortly after this that answers that very question.
Oh, I got all excited.
But it does start. It opens up on his gravestone, so I mean, like he's fucking dead. But we find out.
And then he crimes out because he's healed all these years.
Yes. During the scuffle, James rakes his bone claws over the face of Dog,
Okay.
irreparably scarring him across the face.
Okay.
So nobody but Wolverine, but James, has the healing factor.
Okay. Yeah, we've demonstrated that
That he's not healing.
none of them are coming back.
All right,
Yeah.
so Dog is not Sabretooth.
Well, no, he's not. He's more like a Sabretooth archetype.
Okay.
Okay.
But he does look just like him. And act like him. And have the exact same relationship with Wolverine.
It's kind of what I was expecting. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so
that's what we were all expecting. We were all expecting Dog to be Sabretooth.
So when he rakes the bone, the claws across the face, you just see them heal up, and you're like,
Oh, he's Sabretooth. No.
Yeah, no.
Because, I mean, holy shit, it makes sense. Especially
like,
since
nope,
Logan's
it's not
dead.
Sabretooth.
Yeah. It's not.
They just rub it in your face.
We just want you to know that, like, there's always been an imposing, animalistic, blonde-haired antagonist in Wolverine's life, even from the very beginning.
blonde-haired.
Well, later on you'll see he has blonde hair, but like it's darker. Anyway,
okay.
Well, it's nighttime. It looks
yeah,
bad.
Yeah, it's
shading.
brownish here.
So the grandfather sends Rose and James away. Like, he gives him some money, and he's like, "Off you go, get out of here."
Take my problems away.
That's fair. I mean, that's...
I mean,
No,
it's like
it's not.
it's
I shouldn't say
indicative
it's
of these
horrible.
types of people.
Yes, it's horrible, but for that character, I'm surprised he gave him anything.
I know.
Yeah.
And so Rose and James then leave and just kind of like grow up together.
Wait,
Rose in kind of like a protector kind
at
of
what
caregiver
age
role.
did this roughly
older?
happen when he killed Logan?
He killed Logan when he was roughly like of puberty age, so like 13, 14. Like
Okay.
he's of that age when a mutant discovers their powers.
Because in the earlier part of the book, it looked like he was like, I don't know, 7 or 8.
Yeah, he was. Like Rose comes to live with them when when they're little kids.
Yeah, and then time passes.
Okay.
Yeah, and time passes and
How old
James.
is Rose?
Rose is maybe a couple
older.
years older. So they go to like some shitty 1800s like mining town, and where they don't ask for your name and they don't care who you are, and as long as you work in the mines, nobody cares.
Right.
I should also point out, and I should mention this because it's really important. Rose keeps a diary, and in fact, the whole running monologue throughout the whole story
Is her
is
diary.
her diary, her writing. What happens from when she first arrives at the Hallowed Estate all the way through the end.
Okay.
As James and Rose grow up, they find that mining town. When they ask for his name, he's unconscious or he's asleep. When his powers first manifest, he faints and then like kind of stays out of it for a long time.
Okay.
And
Does he
doesn't
like control his claws at that point? Or is it just when he's like pissed that they come out? Like
it's kind of here and there. Like
Okay.
they came out at a severe emotional moment then, but like later, Rose says, like, "Oh, your claws have pulled back into your hand. Like, good, because we don't want people to see them."
right? Yeah.
And he's
Can't
like,
really
I
hide
think later on he's like,
claws.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this.
Okay.
He's not. There's no hilarious montage where he's like, yeah, this is going great, but in
Right.
fact, he's kind of a puss through most of the book, where he's just like trying to make his way,
Right.
And
Trying
he's,
not to get like discovered.
yeah, and he also like is trying to deal with his feelings for Rose, and so they go to work at this mining town, and they meet like this big fat like Wilson Fisk kingpin looking character named Cookie, who is the cook. He's nicknamed Cookie. I don't know what his actual name is.
Okay.
I think it's Marlowe, and Cookie's just this big fat douchebag, and he like sees James, and he's like, easy pickings. I can beat on this guy,
Oh.
and he won't fight back.
Uh-oh.
And he is just this fucking douche throughout the whole goddamn book. Just such a bastard.
Is he the antagonist?
He's, yeah,
No,
more or less
at
he's
this
the
point.
antagonist. At this point, he is the new antagonist.
Okay.
By the way, when they come to the town and they ask for their name, Rose gives them Logan's name.
Oh, okay.
And it's the first time that he is referred to as Logan.
That's kind of a lame origin for the name Logan.
But she has called him James.
She calls him James personally. She's like, I'll
Right.
always call you James. But here, you're Logan. Because otherwise they'll discover us.
They could have picked any name though.
Yeah, but it's the first one that came to mind. And it just happened to be
And that just-
his father's name.
Right. I guess that's it. He's named after his father.
Yeah.
That's the significance.
Exactly.
Who he killed.
Who also probably didn't even know he was his son. Or wasn't 100% sure.
Right.
What's your name, boy? Wolverine! What?
Doesn't come.
That's a very strange name.
I don't think he ever. I don't think he ever even calls himself Wolverine throughout the whole book. He does encounter wolves.
Okay, but
A lot.
Wolverine is a different.
I know, and we
entirely.
never see an actual Wolverine because Wolverines are lame. Because Wolverine is a cool name, but a terrible beast.
Wolverines are not lame.
All right. Well, like
They're hardcore.
if you if you had the choice,
ferocious.
If you had the choice between having like an animal representation for yourself, and you had the Wolverine or a wolf.
Wolverine, because Wolf
Really?
is so tired. Like,
All right. Well, like
Wolf evokes like images of. This actually came up in my mind when I was trying.
the shirt.
Yeah, well, I was
Wolf
like,
shirt.
what animal do I want Peter to draw me as in his Rudick and the Bear book? And I was like, what about a wolf? Wolves are cool. Wait, no, they're not cool because people think they're like lame people think they're so damn cool they put them on shirts.
First of all,
with three wolves and a
Wolves
moon.
are still cool.
Wolves are cool.
However, wolves are a pack. You need that pack to really be ferocious, and Wolverines are ferocious on their own.
I would argue that wolves are also ferocious.
Yeah, if
on
I
their
encountered a
own.
lone wolf, in fact, I think that's actually a term as a lone wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah, but lone
Wolverine
wolves,
is basically-
lone wolves usually don't survive long.
is that how
Like, you can't be a lone wolf forever.
Well, you can. That's what people do.
Ooh!
Oh, I see. Like with the open on the
Characters
open
in
road.
movies. Yeah, exactly.
The story kind of doesn't really go anywhere after he gets to the mining town.
I was gonna say,
which
what
is
can
the
it really do? Like,
Well, what happens is there's like kind of like the leader of the mining town, but it's really more like the most respected man of the mining town,
Smitty.
named Smitty. And Smitty is everything that Wolverine wants to be
Okay.
in every comic you ever see. In fact, every aspect of Wolverine's personality is represented in a character throughout this book.
okay.
There's the animalistic side of Wolverine, which is represented in Logan. You have the
Protector?
the gentleman / badass of
Okay.
Smitty. You have the sensitivity of Rose, and you have the like fragile, scared person of James.
Okay.
Like, so there's all these layers of Wolverine, and he just flagrantly thieves these character traits from these characters he encounters. I mean, like anyone, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially
Oh,
in
and
literary
Smitty
fiction.
calls people bub.
Yes, that's where he gets Bub from.
Is Smitty also tall?
Yes.
He is taller than Logan.
But he can never get that.
Right.
He
He's
can never
everything
be
he
tall.
wants to be.
That's right.
And never.
Well, and that's the thing, is that as Logan starts to grow up and takes the name, Rose says, you don't have to probably be called Logan anymore. He goes, no, I'm good. Like, you called me Logan, that's good enough for me. And he gets much more stoic and much more quiet.
Starts killing deer with sticks.
Well, he's hunting. Like, they live in
They
this
do.
shitty mining town. They live in like a shack that they're allowed to have so that, Logan can work and Rose can not.
and bathe naked and.
Well, she's in the river.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I'm wondering the last time someone hunted a deer with a javelin that they made out of a stick and then, like, got it through the neck.
Well, that's another aspect of Wolverine's character, is that he's a hunter, and he naturally he's always really attracted to and gravitates towards the woods. He's honing what will eventually become, like, all of his great senses.
Right.
He's also, of course, like, kind of afraid of his bone claws.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he would run down a deer with his bone.
Yeah. that
no,
would
it's
be
true.
horrific.
The only time they really come out, the next time that they come out when he wants them to, is when he faces the wolves in the woods.
Oh.
And that's another
Do they
reason.
snicked?
I think they do. I think they do snick, even though there's no reason for them to make that sound.
Yeah.
But they have to make that sound.
Yeah.
So Wolverine is in the woods. I think it's after Cookie beats the living shit out of him.
Oh.
Because Cookie's always wailing on him. And Smitty always comes to his aid. And I think there's a moment, I love it, when Smitty shows up and saves Logan's butt from the fire. And he's like, he kicks his ass and he goes like, you can read it. It's that line right here.
The hell is wrong with you, bub? Didn't I tell you to stand up to this fat imbecile on your own?
It's just, he's trying to teach him how to be strong and be a
Right.
man. He's like a surrogate father. And
I also like he's like, I warned you, Malone. This is my camp, you spineless turd. I told you time and time again what'll happen. You cause any more trouble.
that's right. And then he whoops the crap out of him. It's pretty sweet. And then, of course, Logan runs into the woods. He encounters the wolves.
Lord knows why.
What do you mean, Logan?
I told-
Well, he's afraid. Like,
Didn't I tell you to stand up on your own? Ah!
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
He's afraid.
That's not standing up on your own.
No,
that's
it's
running
not.
away.
It's-
He's
that's
afraid
right.
he's going to accidentally disembowel the guy.
Not only that,
probably.
but he's also
No.
he's our protagonist. He's supposed to stumble. He's supposed to make mistakes, and he can't stand on his own. He's not quite yet a man.
Right.
And so he's still kind of figuring it out, and he's afraid, and he's scared of conflict, and so he runs off into the woods, and then he encounters the wolf, and then he busts out the claws, and then the wolf accepts him because the wolf sees another
the
animal
in him.
Okay.
instead of a man.
Right.
The wolf sees a wolf in him.
So does the wolf?
Wolverine.
Does the wolf take him in? And
No, they don't.
teach him how.
No, the wolf kind of just stands over him. I think it licks him. Maybe I don't remember.
Does Wolverine howl back? He's like, oh!
No,
he's
he
unconscious
faints.
on the ground. Like the pussy
No, he
is.
passes out so the wolf can eat him.
Yeah.
If it so chooses.
Shortly thereafter, Wolverine is seen running in the woods with the wolves. The wolf
they
does
do
accept
raise
him.
him,
They
kind
don't,
of.
well, they do teach him how to
Well,
hunt, and he's
right.
part of a pack, and it's the only place where he feels at home.
Does he hang out with them for a while?
He just goes out with them. He just
Okay.
he goes into the woods, and
They're his weekend buddies.
yeah, Rose remarks about where do you go?
Right.
Does
Does he take off all his clothes?
He takes off
like
his
an animal?
shirt.
Okay.
Meanwhile, since Wolverine / Logan has taken so much time in the woods,
Right.
Smitty is taking some time with Rose.
Oh man.
And Smitty isn't just a rough and tumble sort. He wasn't always in the mountain. He
was a gentleman of the world?
He was a world traveler, and he's learned many things. He has many books, and Rose is always attracted to books and gentlemen. And so Smitty naturally and appropriately woos Rose.
Okay.
Which, of course, calls down the ire of Logan.
Right.
Who, by the way, Smitty and Logan are become fast and great friends.
Okay.
After Wolverine goes into the woods and becomes accepted by the wolves.
Right. Smitty can
Wait, so Smitty is the one that takes him out.
Smitty's the one who.
He's like, I got a job for you.
Yes, well, Smitty's the one who actually gives him a job and helps him out and
Well, yeah.
gives him more work.
Okay.
I thought it was I got a job for you. I need you to leave.
No.
I don't mean right this second, but I've got a job for you. It's going to take you weeks on end.
Oh yeah.
So I can spend more time with Rose.
Smitty is totally cool. That's the thing. Is that the Smitty-Logan relationship is the truth behind the friend zone. The guy who always think Smitty would come by and be like, hey, where's Logan? She's like, oh, he's out. I don't know where. And he's like, oh, that's too bad. And he goes and she's like, well, you don't have to go. And he's like, okay. And then they start naturally having conversation and they develop a relationship. And then Logan shows up and is like, hey, what's going on here? Dude, you've been out in the woods with wolves for the last 48 hours. What do you expect, man?
She got worried.
Naturally, by the way, he keeps all of his feelings bottled up, so he doesn't tell her, I'm in love with you and we should run away together. He's just I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm just so upset and confused by all his feelings. And but Smitty likes you. Oh, that makes me even more confused and upset.
Right.
The scene that established that Smitty and Logan are friends is Smitty teaching Logan how to use dynamite.
And it's really cool.
And, they set the dynamite fuse and they're gonna, cave in the mine.
And Smitty lights it and he's talking and he's teaching him about things.
Yeah.
He's like, you've got to do this and you have to do it this right way.
And Logan's like, so, how long do we have for this dynamite goes up?
And Smitty says, 1 minute.
And as he's running away.
He's saying 1 minute as he's booking it.
Cookie starts, picking on Logan, and the townsfolk are like, hey, Smitty vouches for him, and Logan's an okay guy, so why don't you shut up, you fat asshole? And Cookie's like, no!
I used to have clout!
Yeah, I used to have it over on that new guy because he was new, but now he's not, and I'm still a fat asshole, and
I was the asshole, but at least I was above Logan!
Yeah. So, he actually winds up snipping one of the sticks of dynamite when they're out in the mine.
Oh, the fuse.
Yeah, the fuse.
Oh.
And it caves in with Logan inside. And I think there's a kid also in the mine. There was a kid in there. I don't remember why there was a kid in the mine.
Someone brought their baby to work that
Someone
day.
brought their baby to work today. I mean, if their blood has taught us anything, people bring their infant children to really dangerous work sites. They're like, well, everyone's dead. I guess we'll start the recovery mission. And they get in there, and they find Logan protecting the little kid. And Logan's, of course, fine because he has a healing factor.
Right.
And the little kid is dead.
Look, it's
He was crushed to death by the weight
of Wolverine.
rocks and Wolverine on top of it.
Yeah. So then there's this cage match that's going to happen.
A cage match.
Yeah, there's going to be
Is it a Royal Rumble also?
It's just a fight.
Wait,
Is there a ladder involved? Or
Or a
casket?
chair?
Wait. Is the cage match between Cookie and Logan?
The cage match is between Cookie and Logan. Actually,
Because I just saw Logan punch Cookie square in the face.
Yeah, well, there's okay. The idea was that
Like, does Logan like, hey, you cut the dynamite?
Oh, he knows he cut the dynamite, but he doesn't. He's more like, I'm gonna make my way in this town by beating the living shit out of this fat asshole.
Okay,
That's fair.
So he does, and whatever. But the more important part is the winner of the fight, or whatever. The winner of, like, the grand winner, because there's a couple of fights that are going to happen.
Uh-huh.
The winner wins a whole bunch of money, and it's wins their meal ticket out of this one-horse town. Smitty basically tells Logan, like, listen, I'm with Rose. And I know you're in love with her.
Yeah.
But she never made a move, and
well,
truth be told, I don't think she feels like that way about you.
Logan sees them kissing.
Yeah.
And then he goes out and fights a wolf.
Well, that's what you do when you're Wolverine and you're confused.
Yeah.
Well, that's when, like, he goes out and he's just like, guys, she's hanging out with fucking Smitty, and I don't like it. And one wolf's like, well, you're always out here with us. Hey, shut your face! Dude, I'm just telling you the truth.
I'll shut you up. And the wolf, like, does he kill it?
No, the wolf just concedes the fight.
Yeah, so now he's, like, the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the alpha male.
Yeah.
That's right.
Except with Rose.
So really quick, the old man, the grandfather, he recants on his deathbed, and he asks Dog to, like, bring James home.
Oh.
He's like, family's more important. I'm an old fool. Everyone's dead.
Wait, family's more important, and I love my grandson more than you?
I love my grandson more than I did when I threw him out.
Because I imagine that he raised
go get him.
Dog kind of like family.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
I just saw Dog, and he's like in a suit, and he's looking nice.
Yeah. So
but he still wants to see his son.
Well, his grandson.
His grandson, that is, yeah.
So, Dog, who is looking for some payback as well, is like, no problem, I'll go find him for you.
I can't
kill him.
I can't what say condition he'll be when he gets here. But
exactly.
He says, I'll promise, sir, I'll hunt him to the ends of the earth like a dog. Like, that's not really what he wanted.
Yeah, that sounds a lot more ominous than I was hoping.
I was gonna say, is the grandfather already dead?
No,
or did he say that like?
Will you find
he's
him?
still alive?
Will you promise to find my grandson James? I promise, sir. I'll hunt him to the ends of the earth.
Like a
Can you
dog.
imagine saying that
And the
in any other
grandfather's
context?
Wait, what?
Wait. Well, you gotta find him, or you gotta find him and kill him?
Oh, well, I'll find him. And,
I don't like how you paused
me.
with that
You
last
didn't really
part.
answer my question.
I have a better idea. Don't go anywhere.
yeah. Can you imagine, like,
Send a telegram.
I'm leaving for the day. I'll see you later, honey. Hey, and don't forget to get some milk. Don't worry. I'll hunt it to the ends of the earth. Like a dog. What?
Okay, well, it's just at the store.
Yeah, well, it's just $4.
You don't have to chase down a wild cow.
Yeah.
I don't have to, but I will.
All right, skipping ahead because it doesn't
Well, he has
matter.
a conversation with Rose, and he's like freaking out.
Yeah, because she's like,
what's wrong with you?
I like Smitty, and he's like, well, I always liked you, you bitch. What the hell? And he leaves. She's
Right.
like, men.
Uh,
And so
That's a great twist on that.
yeah.
Man.
I don't think she says that, but she should. So
No, it looks like she covers her face.
oh,
and
she's
crying.
leaving.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, why don't you come with us? He's like, are you crazy?
well, she's like,
Come with-
me and Smitty are gonna get out of here, and like, you should come and be our fifth wheel. Yeah.
So it's Jean Grey. She's Jean Grey.
Well, yeah.
Why? I was like, why would he do that again? But he doesn't fucking remember.
No, he's attracted
He's
to
just
that
like faded.
to be in that situation. That redheads always cause trouble for Logan.
Yeah, but in this time, he
That
names a
sucks.
tiny
It's also-
Canadian school after her.
It actually could be that like
The Rose School for Canadian youngsters.
he's like
Canucks.
for young
Canucks,
Canucks,
I guess.
that he's like naturally drawn to Jean Grey and that situation. Like he knows it's a situation that he shouldn't be in, but he
Like,
can't help it.
Subconsciously.
Well, imagine that you don't have a memory, but there's still something that just like urges you towards something.
Yeah, and that's what
That's fair.
That's
because
where Rose comes from.
aside from that, Jean Grey has no redeeming quality.
Yeah, she's pretty boring. So's Rose. So Smitty. Ultimately, the end of the day, Smitty and Logan fight,
okay.
and Logan's like,
He beats Cookie, and then
he beats Cookie. He beats the shit out of Cookie. It's great. And then Cookie leaves. And he's like, "Oh, I can't believe I lost. I guess you're the man."
Right.
And then Smitty and Logan fight. And Logan's like, "You took my woman, and I'm going to beat the living hell out of you." And Smitty's like, "She's not anyone's woman, Logan.
right.
She's her own woman." Like he's really just a class act.
Right.
He's like, but he's also a dude. And he's like, but I will beat the tar out of you.
Because this is also my chance to get out.
Well, yeah. So
Although it looked like Smitty.
no, he's leaving anyway.
Yeah, he's. Why wouldn't he just let Logan win so Logan can have the money?
Well, that's the thing. But Logan actually winds up turning the tables, and he says, like, he's got Smitty on the ropes, and then he just says, all right, now I want you to hit me as hard as you can. So that you can take Rose and have a life together. Because I know that Rose loves you. And I know that, like, I'm no good for her.
So a little bit of the gentleman rubbed off on Logan.
Yeah. So Logan throws the fight, Smitty gets the money, and then Dog attacks. And Logan and Dog fight.
Wait, does Smitty leave Logan with any of the money?
No.
God damn it.
I think that Logan's gonna get some money. I mean, like, who the fuck cares? Like, the point is, nobody's going anywhere. Because here's what happens.
He recommends that Logan take over as foreman.
Yeah. He's like, you inherit,
So
you're me now, so you can take over.
Right.
Here, you be stuck in this shitty town.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're in charge, like, whatever.
Yeah, you're in charge of a shitty town.
Well, but he looked up to Smitty, and Smitty was in charge.
Yeah.
So, like...
It stands to reason.
Yeah, he would enjoy that, probably.
Yeah. So, Smitty goes to Rose's shack, and he's like, Logan threw the fight, and we got the money, let's get out of here. And Rose is like, oh, Logan, but no, I have to go see him. And he's like, what? So then she leaves.
He's fine.
I know. So then she runs and sees him as Logan and Dog are fighting. And, Logan's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Because now I got my balls, I got my claws, let's do this. So he pops the claws. Actually, Dog starts to get the upper hand, and he uses like a pitchfork as like a kind of like claw predecessor.
Right.
And then, right when he's about to lose, Logan's like, alright, here we go. And he pops the claws, and right at that moment, Rose trips and falls into his claws and dies.
Why was she that close?
Oh, no.
It goes through her shoulder!
She's fighting through the crowd, and then it goes through her shoulder, but it's like,
It goes through her shoulder. It's a mortal wound. She dies in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, she's trying to get to him because she's like...
She's trying to stop
Don't do it! Like,
Yeah.
they'll have to, like, throw you out of town.
Yeah.
You'll never be foreman!
You have to understand,
You're blowing your career!
You'll have to come with us, and I don't want that, so let's...
Look, I only invited you out of kindness. I really don't want you there when I'm banging Smitty.
At the end of the story, Smitty's alone.
She died really fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't know how much time passes between it, but it's probably been a couple of hours.
It could have at least been a chest wound instead of, in the shoulder.
It really should have been
much
more dramatic.
It should have been through her heart.
It is 3 huge, like...
It is, yeah.
Spikes.
And it went into her shoulder. There could be, like, some kind of, like, really important thing up there.
I get the impression, there could be an artery, maybe. Like, the one that's under your armpit, maybe.
That one. Cut.
Yeah. But look where they are. Like, she probably just bleeds out.
Oh my god, yeah. Both Logan and Smitty are alone. And Smitty, Logan, of course...
Does Smitty blame Logan?
No, because Smitty's a good guy. So Logan actually runs out into the wilderness to go be with the wolves.
Right.
And Smitty, knows that Logan goes to the wilderness, so, Smitty, runs desperately into the wilderness, and he's just like, I can't bear the burden of our Rose
loss.
Being, I need you. I need my friend. And Logan ignores his cries and just goes to be with the wolves.
The fuck was that? Turn the page.
So then Cookie breaks into Rose's house, takes all of her belongings, and throws the diary with all the truth into the fire.
That fucking asshole. God damn
Kind
it.
of wins. I mean, it's not like Logan was ever going to come back and get it.
No.
But there could have been some proof to, who he was.
He would have kept it all those years.
At least there's the opportunity.
It would have been taken away from him in the Weapon X program anyway.
Oh, easily.
Burned or whatever.
But
it's the whole
just
idea
another thing to tell you, he's not getting the story.
Yeah.
He's never going to know.
It seems like
the
a
truth.
symbolic,
Until House of M.
Until House of M.
Right.
That's rough.
It is rough. And it's
That's a harsh story.
It's really harsh.
Oh,
but
it'd have to be.
So is the story of Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really appropriate. It really works. There's a cute moment when Smitty is clearly wooing Rose and Logan's just kind of hanging out this is awkward. Mm-hmm. And he starts looking through Smitty's books, and the one thing that he's like, ooh, this is kind of interesting, is a drawing of a samurai from one of his old books.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. So
I realize we shouldn't be wishing people Merry Christmas for this book. We should be wishing them a Happy Boxing Day.
That's right. Happy Boxing Day.
Happy
everybody.
Boxing Day
for all of us at Back Issues. Wolverine Origin. If you're old enough to remember when this came out, was this enough for you? Did you think, hey, that's actually okay? Was this just acceptable, or did this kind of fly in the face of what you originally thought? And if so, what did you think? For those of you who are young enough to not remember this book, or to read it well after the fact, to just let this be canon, thoughts? Would you guys read this?
How has it influenced your
Yeah, I
view
read
of
that.
Wolverine?
Yeah,
It looks good.
it's really cool.
And the art looks great too.
Oh
so,
yeah, you can't say enough good things about the Coopers. They really know their stuff,
yeah.
and that has nothing to do with the fact that they're not 10 minutes up the road from us.
Well, it's not even go there.
We don't,
Now I just want to call him James.
right? They do occasionally call him that. In fact, after they've established this, like Nick Fury calls him Jimmy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Does
kinda cool.
Wolverine flip him a claw?
No. See you later, everybody. I am Sal.
I'm Cobalt.
And I'm Ben.
And I'm Ethan. Now, I thought Wolverine, Logan, fought in the Civil War.
Nope.
Oh. Didn't you mention that at the beginning of this?
Well, no, he fought in
No,
like,
they're, like,
he fought in like many
Vietnam.
wars.
Oh.
Yeah,
World
like in
War
World War II. Yeah.
Okay. But no, that was just, I guess...
And probably World War One, I guess, too.
One of the movies, isn't he?
In X-Men Origins Wolverine, we see a whole montage, which is actually the best part of that stupid movie.
Yeah.
But no,
It's
it's
not real.
It's not Civil War. I don't think so.
It might be World War One.
Yeah.
No, maybe it is.
We definitely see
I
World
thought
War
I saw
One.
something where he's in like a Civil
might
War
have been.
regalia, but
Well,
it might have been time travel or
No,
something.
that was his weekend reenactment.
Yeah. Right. That was actually in like 1992.
That's what he does to unwind.